Hi, Joelle and Litz. Today we're going to whip together a Pennsylvania Dutch corn pie, at least my version of it. Now, as you know, I like to use pre-made pie crust Pillsbury dough, but also a little tip that I'll share is if you take a little margarine and put that into the pie plate first, your dough doesn't stick. And it also helps it to get extra flaky. You can use Crisco or margarine to do this. And it's just a little tip I picked up along the way, so I thought I'd share it with you. And then of course we want to get one of our pie crusts out, unroll it. Pretty slick, isn't it? And then just put it in the bottom of the pie crust. And really what I do is I use a deep dish pie plate, and I also like to layer my corn pie. You might want to pour maybe 4 or 5 holes in the bottom with a fork, so it doesn't bubble up in the center and you have all dough in there and air, and it'll be a nice layered pie. So first layer I put down is a layer of potatoes. I'm going to put these in a while because I pre-cut those. But I also thought, just so you see how I do it, I like to cut my potatoes and then lay them flat and cube them. Just like this. That way it cooks rather quickly. It doesn't have to be baking a real long time. And I'll add that to the base layer for my corn pie. Potatoes are a big thing in Pennsylvania Dutch country. Alright, next I'm going to put on a layer of hard-boiled eggs. These are pre-hard-boiled. And if you're lucky, you let them sit in the refrigerator a week before you try and cook them and peel them. That way they don't stick and break apart. If you try and hard-boil fresh eggs, it just doesn't seem to work. These come apart pretty quickly, just like this. And so I have my egg, and I also pre-cut. I'm using one. I had 2 potatoes. One was rather large, and the other one was just a medium size. And then we want to cut our slices of eggs. And so that's going to, I have a total of 6 eggs actually. You can use more or less, but 6 just seems to fit across the pie in a nice layer. And you put them in there. Works out really well. All across. Now I'm going to take you to my 1950s can opener, and we're going to open some cans of corn. Now you could use fresh corn, you could use corn that you had left over on the cob and just shear it off, but I have some canned corn today, so let's do that. And it doesn't have to be any special brand, but I have this old 50s turquoise can opener, and I love it. It is just so reliable. So I have a can of cream corn and a can of whole corn. So we'll put that up in there. Wonderful. So I'm going to drain the water off the corn. I just use the lid in the top to hold it in place. And then I can drain the water off of the whole corn. Now the cream corn, you want to use the whole can. But there we go. Okay, so here's how I do the corn. The whole corn, I pour right onto my layer. I make a layer with it in my potatoes and eggs. Get that all in there. And you can spread it out a little bit. Of course, you want to wash your hands. And then what I do with my cream corn is I put it into a bowl. Because what I want to do is add two raw eggs. Two raw eggs. There we go. And then you can use a spoon or a whisk, whatever, and you want to mix that up really good because this is going to drizzle down through the other layers, and it's going to bake it all together, and it's going to make it into a really nice consistency so you can cut it and you can get it out of the pan in one piece. All right, so I've got my eggs and my corn mixed all together. And what I want to do is get my salt and pepper ready. Okay, I wanted to show you how my oven works. It's an old Windcraft and it's a gas stove, and I have to turn it on at the side, turn on my oven knob, and then I want to stand back a little bit. I don't want to singe my eyebrows. At any rate, you just simply get that up, and then I'll show you in here. You have to adjust the flame somewhat, and that looks good. And in goes the corn pie. We're going to let that bake for about 30 minutes at around 325, and then we'll pull it out a little later. It's time to see if our pie is done. Oh yes, it's nice and just the right kind of brown. Oh, beautiful. Would you look at that? Ooh, it's very hot. There's our corn pie. Doesn't it look wonderful? I can't wait till it cools down just a little bit so we can try it. So you just want to keep an eye on it, and when it looks nice and golden brown to you, it's ready to go. So the pie has been cooling for 10 minutes. We're going to try and cut it. Hopefully it's set up enough that we can dish it out here. And again, that butter around the edge really makes it nice to be able to get it out. So, first piece. All right. Lost a few eggs there, but just bring them on over. And there's our corn pie.